everybody, we're inside the F450. Let's take it out for a spin, and we'll take it to our normal spot right down the road here by these railroad tracks and just kind of see how she rides. So it is a very comfortable truck on the inside. The seats feel good. You got cooled and heated seats, and we'll talk about some of the interior features while we're driving. But yeah, it feels nice to sit inside of this truck. It's got a very comfortable feel to it. I also like how you can just kind of rest your arm right here and how that kind of goes down like that, which makes it a little more comfortable. So that's nice. Steering wheel wrapped in leather. Feels good. And you got a lot of nice screens inside the vehicle. As you can see here, you got one big one there. You got a huge LCD screen here by your tach and speedometer. The other thing is that the mirrors are big on the outside. I mean, yeah, we already know they're big mirrors, but they're big mirrors. They also extend out and come in. They have blind spot monitoring system on them. Let me just show you real quickly. So, I mean, that's a nice big mirror. You have these controls right here. And see, the reason you would want to extend that out is because if you do have a fifth wheel on the back of the truck, you want to be able to see what's going on the sides of that fifth wheel or whatnot, right? So that's why you want to extend them out. Put them back in for just normal everyday driving. So there you go. They might fold in, but I'm not going to force it. But I'm pretty sure they do fold in if you needed to. Up top here you got sunglass holders, and you got 6 different auxiliaries, home link, mirrors with lights. So that's pretty sweet. Again, we'll talk about more of the interior creature comfort features and things like that when we get back. My favorite thing on the truck, and this is really something kind of simple, but it's starting to be really popular now, is not the heated seats, but the cooled seats. The cooled seats are really nice. So, because, you know, living here in South Carolina, it's very humid outside and it's very hot. It really doesn't start cooling down to a nice temperature until about October. And even in October, it can still be warm. You really got to wait until almost the end of October, trick-or-treating time. And I'll tell you one thing, last year at trick-or-treating time, I was sweating it up out there trick-or-treating with the kids. It was warm. So those cooled seats are really, if you live here in the South, they're well worth getting because you're going to use them a lot more than what you would ever use a heated seat. Now, driving the truck right now feels great. It's simple to drive. You know, you look at it, you say, man, this is such a big truck. It is a big truck, but it's not that difficult to drive. And, you know, just because it's a dually doesn't mean it's going to be that hard to maneuver around in. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute here. Now, of course, it is long, and so doing a 3-point turn or a U-turn or something like that is going to be a little more tricky. But just driving it, it's not bad. It's comfortable. You know, it's got a long wheelbase on it, so it's not really too bumpy. I mean, I feel little bumps in the roads right now, but not too bad. Well, I mean, we're on some older country roads out here off of Highway 17, and there's going to be some bumps in the roads. But when you're riding on the interstates, it's going to be smooth sailing. This is kind of like a land yacht for trucks. So anyway, stay with us for a minute. I'm going to cut the camera off and I'm going to crank it back up when we get to this road down here. So you got a nice straight road, right? You have blind spot on your mirrors. So that's going to help you see everything going on while cruising in this truck. And believe it or not, we actually got another Ford truck behind us right now, which is kind of cool, that has the LED headlights, as you can see right there. Looks like it might be a Ravenel Ford truck. Maybe somebody's following me down here. But what we're going to do when we get up here by these railroad tracks, I'm going to turn it around and I'll show you how the cameras work and all that stuff. So you got a 360 camera view on this truck. You'll be able to see side to side, back to front, all that stuff. 360, right? So let's slow down and I'm going to show you what we're talking about here when I get to a stopping point. We like to come down this road right here and test drive them. It's usually kind of quiet. You know, you always want to look both ways on the trucks. Make sure there's no train coming. No train, good to go. Okay. You know, I always tell people too, coming out to Ravenel Ford to buy a truck is the place to come. Because who wants to deal with the traffic from the city? So anyways. Oh wow, well, okay. The Ford passed me. So anyways, let me show y'all what we got going on here. We're gonna basically pull into right there and we're gonna turn this big old boy around. Now, I don't know how easy it's gonna be, but we're gonna try. This be you on a country road, getting lost, not knowing where you're at, right? Having to turn it around. There's your camera view right there. If I open the door, look, you can see that door. See that door right there? So that's pretty cool, you can see that. I'm showing you that so you really understand that these cameras, they're on. That's not a joke right there. That camera is the real deal, folks. Believe it or not, I've had some people comment before and say, oh, it's not a camera. Really? That's like someone saying there's not satellites up in the space up there. There's people that think the world's flat. There's people that think we never went to space. Now, some people think we never went to the moon, but we're not getting on that right now. Now, when someone just passed, we heard a little do-do-do-do-do. It's letting me know that someone, listen right now. See what I'm talking about? It's letting me know that someone's back there. That's really nice. All right, so we got it in reverse. Let's go ahead and back her up. There we go. I love the column right there. And somebody in their Range Rover back here decided to beep the horn at me. So they don't realize we're filming a review. So, I mean, how about just be polite and go around, right? Now we're gonna stop right here, look both ways, and then we're gonna go. All right. Now what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go ahead and do this right here and let them go by us, because now it's funny how they could be a jerk and blow their horn at me like that and be all slow going by. Like, ooh, don't do that. But anyways, now here's something interesting. Let's go right in here. We will turn around. It's what you call bumpy road. It's a dually truck though. It should be able to handle a bumpy road. Anyways, we're gonna turn around right here and see what kind of turning radius we got going on. Because I really don't know, but we're gonna find out. Let's take a look. Can we make this turn? Probably not. But it's a good test to see how the 3-point goes on some skinny roads. I don't really suggest probably trying to do a 3-point turn in a situation where there's a lot of vehicles coming. It's gonna take you a minute, you know. I think that's the only thing. So if you're gonna turn this big old truck around, probably pull into a parking lot or something like that, because really I could say everything's easy, and I mean it's not hard to move it around and turn it, but like you noticed earlier, you know, you're taking a little bit of extra time doing that because it is a big truck. You don't want to bump into anything, and you know, you got all those cameras and stuff, so you want to look at that and pay attention. But you know, if someone's behind you in a rush, that's a perfect example of how someone will lay on the horn at you. Ah, what did I do? So anyways, all right, let's go ahead and do what we normally do, which is give this truck a little power and see how she cruises right here. I mean, it's heavy, so let's see. 3, 2, 1, and a roll and start. Here we go. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I mean, really, this is a massive truck. It's heavy. That truck just got up and went. I mean, I'm not saying it's a Chevy Camaro ZL1 LE, but I'm telling you right now, that thing just boogied. That's great. That 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel just got this big old truck up and out of the way. So that tells me if you are pulling out of your neighborhood or a business or whatever, and you're in a situation where you need to mash that gas down, it's got the power. Let me show you one more time, just right here. Let's say we're in that situation, we're pulling out, and there's a vehicle coming. Let's mash it down and see. 3, 2, 1. So I mean, there's a little bit of turbo lag right there, you know, in the beginning. That first 1 or 2 seconds there, or maybe that first 1 second or so, it takes a second, but you can feel those turbos kicking up and doing what it's got to do, and then it launches you. All right, let's try that right here on the open highway. We got our blinker on, we're turning. Let's give it some gas. I tell you, it gets up and goes. I feel very confident in mashing down the gas pedal and going. And also, you know, even though it's rear wheel drive, with it being a dually, it really does kind of stay planted to the road, and it doesn't start swerving all around or anything like that. I mean, that would be a lot of work to get those rear tires back there, all 4 of them spinning. So it really grips down good and gets up and goes. That's very nice. I'm glad we got to go out and test drive the F450. We didn't get to do that last time. We just got to look, and today we're getting to do that. You know, we don't get a whole lot of these in, and that's one thing I mentioned on my previous video. I'm like, this is my first time ever seeing one, and you know, I had a lot of people comment, really, the first time ever seeing one? Yeah, I mean, it's not a truck that we just carry a bunch of them in stock. I mean, I'm surprised we got this one. Again, we just don't have a whole lot of these F450s in stock. Why is that, you say? Because we just don't have a whole lot of people buying them. Maybe in your city or state you get a bunch of them, but we just don't have a whole lot. So, and with that being said, we don't put a whole lot of them sitting on the lot like that because they would sit there for a while. And you never, as a car dealership, you don't want your inventory just sitting, you know? You want to get a piece of inventory in and flip it within, you know, 90 days, or, you know, something like that. So anyways, this one happens to be on the lot for sale, so we can sell it. And the other one, the Platinum, was a truck that was pre-sold. So anyways, I was going to do a U-turn to go back to the Ford store, but again, I'm just not going to test that too much. We're going to do like this right here in the Hardee's parking lot, and we're going to head back over to Ford. And when we get back, we're going to review the interior. Stay with us.